everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all well. So today I'm going to sit down and do a skin routine with you. So a bit of skincare and my base. In my last video I mentioned that I would upload the base routine that I wore in that, so this is that video. So I'm filming this before I filmed the other video, which I'm going to upload first, which is all very confusing, and let's hope I can pull it off. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to filming this video actually. I've wanted to film this one for a while. So my skin is quite blemish prone. I've got quite a lot of scarring. I will zoom in so you can see properly, but you know, uneven skin tone, quite a lot of pigmentation, and this is going to be my everyday foundation routine. This video is going to be some tips and tricks of how I make my skin look as flawless as possible, really. So if you are interested in this video, please keep on watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you do like it, and do subscribe before you go. But yeah, let's get into the tutorial. A little bit about my skin. My skin has always been problematic. I don't think I've ever been 100% happy with my skin. If I'm having a good skin day, it means that it's quite smooth, there's no breakouts, it feels quite comfortable, doesn't feel very sore. My skin at the moment is calming down. Over the last probably month or so, probably longer actually, probably the last 2 months, it's been the worst it's ever been. It's been really painful. I've got loads of really painful hormonal breakouts on my jawline. You could probably see this little guy has popped up today, which is not ideal. But you know, real life, that's what you get. But also when my blemishes go away, I am left with scarring for months and months. So I'm just going to show you my skin a little bit up close so you can see. So here, my skin's pretty smooth here, if you can tell. There's just a lot of scarring. So these little tiny blemishes, you can see this. If I go to the side, you can see there's not a lot of texture there. It's all past breakouts that have all scarred, and you can see under here, some of these are quite fresh, they're quite painful under here. Again, so much scarring under there. Same on this side really. This one here is giving me some problems. Hope you can see properly. But yeah, this one here is giving me a few problems. It's really painful, very itchy. Again, just scarring. Same on this side really. So this blemish, it's quite fresh. That one's kind of going, well, it's not fresh actually, it's kind of going down a bit. This one is the little fresh one. So you can see when I do have a fresh blemish, it is quite red, quite sore. I'm not going to go too much into skincare. If you do want that video, let me know, and I will do a really in-depth skincare routine on what I use when my skin's flaring up, what I use to keep it in check. Let me know. If you want to see that, please do comment. But this one is just going to be about makeup. So I am really just going to focus on the base, but I am going to show you how I prep my skin. So I have already cleansed my skin. I should go and get the cleanser really, shouldn't I? Give me a minute. Hello. So today I used this Cerave Cleanser. This one, I've used it on and off a number of times really. It's you can't really go wrong with it. I have just washed my face with that, and I've done nothing else to my skin since, because I thought we could do it together. My skin is starting to feel a little bit tight, slightly uncomfortable, which is a sign of dehydration, so which I've always had. So the first thing I will do once I've cleansed is tone. So the toner I've been loving at the moment is the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Facial Toner. I really like this. It's quite expensive, but it's lasted me a really long time, and it's doing wonders for my skin. I absolutely love using it. So what I'll do is just pop a couple of drops of this, pat it between my hands, and just press it into my skin. I like to make sure that my skin is still quite damp for the next lot of products. So yeah, just patting that in. It smells beautiful. It's really hydrating, really soothing as well. After I tone, I will then pop on some eye cream. So this eye cream I've been really liking recently. It's from the Inky List. It's the Brighten Eye Eye Cream for instant illumination and long-term brightening. So I believe it has vitamin C in there. I use this one in the morning, and then I have a different one I use at the night. I have a different one I use at night time. This one comes with a small metal applicator, which is really nice first thing in the morning, especially if you've got puffy eyes. So I just squeeze a tiny amount. Don't use too much eye cream. It's not necessary at all. that will do for probably both eyes really. So just apply that, and I'll spend some time depuffing on my eyes. I think fine lines are my main issue with my eyes, but this is nice for the morning. Like I said, it depuffs and helps to brighten. But then what I'll do is I'll just take my ring finger and slowly massage that in. And then what I'll do is follow with a moisturiser. Sometimes I use a serum, but at the moment I haven't really got one for the morning that I'm really liking using. And I did, when my skin was really bad, I stripped back my skincare routine. So I'm just going to go straight on with a moisturiser. This moisturiser I'm going to use today is from Versed. This is the Dew Point Moisturising Gel Cream with green tea extract and aloe leaf juice. It's just really hydrating, really soothing gel cream, nothing too crazy. So yeah, I really like using this one. It is just a gel, so I will just squeeze a little bit of that, warm that into my hands, just so the product can sink in, and then I'll press that in again. And this, I'll go a bit closer so you can see, leaves my skin feeling really hydrated, but not sticky. It has sunken in really quickly, and it's really nice. Finally, very important, your SPF. So I'm using the La Roche-Posay Anthelios, hello, yes. I'm using the La Roche-Posay Anthelios SPF at the moment. It's SPF 50, give it a shake. It's quite watery, and then I just 2 fingers worth, and I really like this one because it doesn't really have a white cast. I really struggle with SPFs that do. I hate it when they make my skin look ashy, but this one doesn't at all. You can just get it in Boots, you can get it anywhere really. It's a really good SPF. It doesn't leave your skin feeling greasy. It's just really hydrating and really protecting. So yeah, never ever skip that step. And that's my skin prepped. So that is all I do in the morning really. Like I said, sometimes I'll pop a serum in, but at the moment I'm not using one. So my skin's feeling really hydrated. It's feeling much more comfortable, and I'm ready to get on with some products. I'm just going to quickly go off and do my brows off camera, and then I will be back. I'm back. My brows look slightly less offensive than they did before, and I'm ready to get into my base makeup. So first thing I'm going to use is the Huda Beauty Water Jelly Primer. This is very nice, very soothing, very juicy. It leaves your skin looking very hydrated. So I'm just going to pop a pump of that on my skin. Primers are a funny one really. I'm not really going to sit here and tell you that you have to prime your skin, otherwise your makeup's going to just slide off your face, because that is not true. Yeah, just popped a bit of that on, not too much. And now, so what I like to do first, I might zoom you in actually. Hello. So I think I mentioned it earlier, but if I didn't, what I'm going for is a really hydrating, fresh, clean base. I'm not going to use anything that's too full coverage, and I'm going to apply them in a way that makes your skin look fresh. That is all. That's all I want. It's all I want to do right now. And it's, you know, really on trend, that kind of skin at the moment. So so yeah, hopefully, you know, hopefully we get to that stage. So the first thing I'm going to use is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is in the shade Amande Medium Dark 3. I bought this online and was very brave with my choice of shade, and it actually is perfect. So it's just a matte concealer. So I'm actually going to use my finger straight in the pot, so make sure your hands are clean when doing this, because you don't want to harbour bacteria. I have just washed my hands, and I'm going to start pressing that into my skin. And I like pressing, and I like using, you can use a brush if you feel more comfortable, absolutely use a brush, but I prefer using my finger just because it melts into the skin a lot better. And you can see already how much better that's looking. I've also got a bit of pigmentation here from my glasses. I am a specs wearer, so that has pretty much spot concealed everywhere that I've had pigmentation. And to be quite honest, if you want to, you can leave it there. You can just pop some powder on and off you go, but I'm going to carry on and do the rest of my base. So I'm going to set that, and I'm going to use a pressed powder. I'm going to use a powder that again is the same colour as my skin tone. This one is a bit battered. It's from Morphe. This is the Filter Effect powder in the shade 10. I'm just going to get a small yet dense brush and set those areas that I want to stay. So around that blemish there, I'm just patting, because I know that will probably, and to be honest, this has not disguised the blemish, this has just covered it. So this one, you know, I want to make sure that get a bit of powder on there. And I know I put the concealer pretty much everywhere just to make it blend, but it's only on those key areas where the blemishes were more pronounced that I want to powder. So my next step is foundation, and I'm going to use a dewy, fresh, glowy foundation. So there's two at the moment that I've been loving. The first one, I have spoken about it numerous times, everywhere I possibly can. This is the Anastasia Luminous foundation. I've used this for a couple of years now. It is the best foundation for me. It's medium to full, so if I do want to go for a full coverage, this is going to be the one that I use. And it's a gorgeous, dewy, luminous, obviously, foundation. So this one, and I have the shade 450C. But I've also been really liking the Glowish foundation by Huda Beauty. I have this one I have this one in the shade number 9 Extra Tan, and I absolutely love using this one. So both of these foundations I recommend fully, and they both stay all day even though they're really dewy. I'm going to use the Glowish one today because I don't think I've used this one on a YouTube video before, and it's still fairly new, so I'm going to use that one today. And the key with this is not a lot. That is not even one full pump. That's about half a pump. That is all I'm going to need because we have already concealed. We don't need to add too much more coverage with the foundation. I'm going to use a soft fluffy brush to apply this one just so we can get, again, a really nice natural coverage, and I'm just bouncing that on my hand just to get it all covered in the product. And I'm going to just start to stipple that onto my skin. I'm going to softly blend that down onto my neck. Not really buffing it, as I say, I'm just pressing that into the skin. I don't want to move anything that I've already done. And because I use the really nice pressed, finely milled powder, it's not sitting on top of the areas that I've powdered in a really unflattering way. I'll go a bit closer as well. We're still looking fresh and hydrated. There we go. Move back a bit so you can see. Very well covered, still looking fresh. I don't look like I've got too much foundation on. I don't look like I've got a lot of foundation on at all, actually. Next, I've got concealer. So this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 360. I've used this so many times. I really like this concealer. It is a matte concealer, but I don't think it's a soft matte. Obviously, it's not drying, so it's quite nice for under the eye area. But you're going to see I don't use too much. Just to brighten. Like I said, I don't really have dark circles. It's mainly in the centre where that tiredness shows, and just into the outer edge, just to give me a bit of a lift. And then touch down the nose. And I may put some around my mouth. We'll see how I go. Probably not. I quite like that amount there. I like to use a fluffy brush to blend that in. So I'm just going to keep stippling and taking it out slightly down the side of my nose, just to still give me a bit of shape and a bit of brightness. And do that on the other side, and just down my nose. I've got this light here. Just realised that that's quite nice actually. But yeah, sorry. So even though I am sculpting, it's a very soft sculpt. It's nothing too structured, which is nice just for every day. So now I'm just going to warm up my face with some bronzer, and I'm going to use the BeautyBay bronzer. This is in the shade Caramel. It's just a powder bronzer. I'm just going to tap my brush in there. This is very similar to my skin tone. It's probably one shade darker, so it's going to be a very soft, very natural bronze to start with. So I'm just going to pat that to the high points just under my cheekbone there, and concentrate it nice and high. Again, stippling so we don't move anything from underneath. And I'm going to pull that across my eye as well. And just in the hairline. Normal places really that I hit that bronzer. Just under the nose as well. You can see that is just giving me a little bit more shape to my face. And then I'm going to follow it up with a slightly darker bronzer just to fine tune the shape and contour ever so slightly. The bronzer I have is this one from NARS. It's get rid of that brush. It's the NARS bronzing powder in Punta Cana. This bronzer is slightly too dark for me, so I mean it's a bit battered. I've had this for a while, so whether I repurchase this or not I'm not sure, just because I really want to try the Vive bronzer, but no, this bronzer is slightly too dark for me, so that's why I kind of like to go in with that lighter one, which is too light for me, and then sculpt with a darker bronzer. So I'm going to use a smaller brush And again, just stipple that. You can see where I've put that there. It's so much darker than the other one. I think that's another thing with this bronzer. I find it a little bit difficult to blend sometimes. Where you place it, it's kind of where it stays. It's a little bit across the forehead. And I'm just going to take a little bit just through my brow bone and wing that out just to match and meet with my bronzer. I do take my bronzer quite high. I love how it looks. I'm going to pop some blusher on now, and I'm going to use another one from BeautyBay. Well, not another one, but I'm going to use the one from BeautyBay. It's the BeautyBay powder blush in Coral. Just to give it, again, shape and also a bit more colour. And across the nose, just over my eyes, temples. It's a very summer trick, this, but I just love it. I think it looks so nice whatever the weather and whatever the season. I think that kind of fresh blushy skin is just gorgeous. Nearly finished with the skin. I'm going to actually zoom back out. So I think it looks really nice. It's so fresh. It's quite full coverage, really, because it's covered all my blemishes, but it just looks, I think it looks really fresh and really nice and perfect for every day. So now what I'm going to do is just set my skin. I'm going to use the iconic Prep Set Glow. I've lost my lid, I don't know where it is, but this one is in the, I don't know, it's in the shade Glow, so it's the darker one. I think they do two. One of them is like a light pinky sort of colour, and this one is more bronzy, so perfect for my skin tone. So I'm going to give that a shake. A bit loud. I'm just going to spritz that all over my skin, just from quite far away, because there are some, you can see there are some particles in there that are quite glittery, and I have sprayed this over myself and it's just gone all over my clothes that I'm wearing, and it just looks like I've got an affinity for sparkly, I don't know, like sparkly fragrance or something, and it's a bit cringe. So just be careful where you're spraying it, because it will go all over you and it will be quite sparkly. So I'm just going to let that dry for a couple of minutes. So my skin's all dry now, but you can see there's just a gorgeous glow. You can just see there's a lovely glow on the surface of the skin, and I absolutely love that setting spray. I think it's beautiful. So final step, going to use one of the Ciate Dewy Sticks. This one was kindly gifted to me. This is in the shade Bronze. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love how this looks. So it's just like a stick. I'm just going to rub my finger with it. It's a solid stick, but when you melt it into your fingers, it's really easy to just apply. And I'm just going to pop that onto the high points of my skin where there would be just that natural sheen. Pop that on my nose, just on the bridge, just above my eyebrow. And I think I'm done. That is my hydrating, fresh, glowy base, perfect for if you have blemishes. You know, my scarring's been covered quite nicely, my skin's looking very even, it doesn't look like I've got loads of makeup on, and this, although it looks super glowy and very dewy, it will last all day. Let me know in the comments if you like this video, and let me know if you'd like some more base routines. They're definitely my favourite videos to film. Let me know if you're going to use any of the tips and tricks that I used in the video as well. Like I mentioned earlier on, if you do want an in-depth skincare video, let me know. Let me know everything in the comments. Let's have a chat. It's always really nice when you comment on my videos. And if you really like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out, and please do subscribe so you don't miss any more of my videos. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I am at Alina Beauty. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Today I'm sitting down to do a skincare routine. No, I'm not. This one, I get one quickly, gonna go off and do my camera on brows. What is this? It's the NARS. Ah, yikes.